My name is Ashfaq Ahmad, obviously Baba's father. And the first time when we heard that Baba has been arrested, when we got the phone call, it came as a shock. We could never ever imagine that such a thing will happen. And from then on, things, went from bad to worse. We never had that sort of experience before, and we never want to happen it again. How we lived those 11 years, it was very difficult. When we look back, I see it was only only myself and my wife, we were here. And so many things we couldn't do ourselves. Although people were supporting us, people were helping us, but then certain things we couldn't do ourselves. So it was very, very difficult for us. But the help of people, with Allah's help, we managed to live through all that. You have a little baby, and you see him growing up, and the mother is awake all night if the child has got some problem, has got ear infection or something. So mother will not sleep all night. She will get, and then some people, some rogues, some nasty people that snatch away your child or your son or whatever, and they beat him up, treat badly. So that was such a shock that you cannot understand that. No matter you have got a naughty child as well, or still mother and father, they just don't want that we should be treated like that. You can come to parents and complain that your son has done this. But that was a real shock. And when we saw Babar after initial arrest, when he came home, it was a different person. It was the same. It wasn't the same Babar as we, or bruises and all that. And it was very, very difficult for us to accept that. Even to this day, when my mind goes back, Baba says that, oh, it's all over, don't worry about that, I'm here, alhamdulillah. And I said, no, and sometime he was living somewhere here in a house here, and whenever I pass by that house, it all comes back to me that this is where it all happened to him. I, as a man, I can take a few things, and I got my friends, I went to it. And of course, we have got a very good community, but still at times she missed. She missed. I mean, I missed too, but I didn't show all that emotion and all that. But she was always thinking if she's eating something, she will think about that. But Baba used to like keema paratha. Baba used to like certain things, and certain things Baba liked, certain foods. And she would always think about him. So after that initial shock, then we thought that, well, Baba has gone to prison, and Baba himself was in a shock too when we went to see him first time in the prison, sitting in those four walls, and he just didn't know how to cope with it. The worst thing when we went to see him in the prison here was that we chatted with him for about an hour or so, and when the visit was over, and when he went back to his cell and we came home, and that was very difficult for us to bear. So that's how it happened, and so Baba was there for 8 years in British prison, and then he was sent to United States, extradited, and he was there for 3 years, and then he came back in 2015. But I'm thankful to Allah, and I'm thankful to the supporters, so many supporters all over the world. They supported us, and yes. And sometimes if I'm going in a bus, some girl will say that, are you Baba's father? I said, yes. She said, we pray for Baba. And so got support from so many people. And main thing is that among other things, HHUGS people, they helped us a lot. And it's not that money and food and this, it's just the moral support that was more important. It was needed. And also they were HUGS helped us in arranging our trips to when we went to see Baba in the prison and all that. And that sort of thing, you just imagine, time is so valuable. You spend your whole day on a weekend leaving your family and taking us to prison and back. So you can imagine that you have got your kids, you're from morning 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock till late in the evening. You take a family to visit their people. So that sort of thing we value, and that sort of thing, which is you can't judge it in terms of money or anything. That this is something comes from within, I think. Sometimes girls will ring from HUGS that, "Uncle, do you want anything? Are you happy? Are you all right?" So that meant a lot to us. Because as you know that like a child is very sensitive, and as children, when you're going and playing and all that, and some of your friends, they were going on picnics or outing, and they had cars, and I didn't have a car at that time. And so, I mean, I didn't mind, but the kids, they said, "Well, why don't they take us there?" So that is where support from HUGS was very, very important. And we are grateful that, HUGS arranged some, picnics for kids. And on Eid and Bakr Eid, they will bring us, they will give us some presents, they will, meet and this and that, and they will, from time to time, and that was, the world goes on, but when you see that somebody is caring for you, that is very important. And I'm so thankful again, and that we knew that there is somebody who is worried about us as well. And not only that, more than money and finance, more than that, we needed somebody to be physically present. That was more important. What happened, I had a, what you call, operation. Stent was put in and all that. And that was very difficult for Baba to, like anybody, they were very worried that we can't help and we can't do anything. And only not very long ago, while Baba was in America, then I had some accident, and then I had some brain operation as well. You can see these marks here. So, and it was very difficult for Baba. We just wanted to come home. We just wanted to see, because they didn't know whether I'll still be alive or not. So that was very difficult, and especially when you are away from home, let alone different country, and some member of the family is not well or some operation or something, you get worried. And in circumstances like what Baba had been into, that was even more difficult, that he didn't know whether he will be able to. And he always said that I just prayed to Allah that when I come back, I see my dad and mom alive and well, thank God. Especially on Eid, Bakr Eid and festivals and all that, they will ring us, they will give us some presents. The girls will ring, they will personally bring us that this is meat for you and sweets for you, and that they will do. And from time to time, they will ring you to give us support, that you don't think that you are alone, that we are with you. And that, once again, that moral support was more than anything, was that lifts you up. I mean, you can do without money, you can do with, if you are short of money and all that, but then this thing will give you that there is someone, there is always someone who cares about you. Don't give up hope. Try to make HUGS as strong as you can, so that they have more resources, so that they can help you in better way. And more they will help you. Whether it's £1 or whether 10 pence, every penny counts. And I'm an example in front of you that over the years, the support from HUGS and other people, if it was not there, then it would have been be more difficult.